Hi, this is Miss Andrews.
And Miss Conway.
And we are here to help you with a simultaneous equations problem. So this one we have here says a bag contains 40 coins, all of them either 2 cents or 5 cents. If the value of the money in the bag is €1.55, find the number of each kind of coin. So the first thing that we want to do here is set up a let statement so that we know what values that we have for our different variables. Okay, so we've already typed those. That says let t equal the number of 2-cent coins and let f equal the number of 5-cent coins. So when we look through here, we have some pretty obvious information about the total amount that the coins are worth, but we also have this first line telling us how many we have. So we know that if we add the number of 2-cent and the number of 5-cent coins, it's supposed to equal 40. So our first one that we can set up, t plus f equals 40. And then in our second equation, that's where we need to go through and figure out something with the money values. Now, we can either change this 2 cents to represent an amount out of euros, 0.02, or we can change this €1.55 to represent cents, 155 cents. And I think I would rather do that way so that we have whole number values. So if we multiply 2 cents times the number of 2-cent coins, and we add 5 cents times the number of 5-cent coins, that should all equal 155 cents. So we have our two equations there.
Okay, so now that we have our two equations, we have to figure out how we're going to solve for t and f. So we can either use the substitution method or possibly the elimination method. Neither of our equations says t equals or f equals, so let's go ahead and use the elimination method. I noticed that we have a 2t in the bottom equation, so let's multiply the top equation by -2. So we have to remember to multiply the entire equation by -2, including that 40 on the other side of the equals. So we get -2t minus 2f equals -80. Alright, the bottom equation we're just going to rewrite, leave that exactly as it is. 2t plus 5f equals 155. Okay, so we're trying to eliminate the t's, and we have a -2t and a positive 2t, so if we add those together, that'll equal 0, so those are eliminated. So now -2f plus 5f gives us 3f equals -80 plus 155, 75. Right, so we need to divide by 3 here on both sides of the equation. So f is equal to 25. Now, this is a word problem, so we need to say what that 25 means. If we look back at our let statement, it says let f equal the number of 5-cent coins. So that means that we have 25 5-cent coins.
And if we look at our problem, it says find the number of each kind of coin. So we also have to say what our other value is. So if we use one of our original equations, t plus f equals 40, then we can plug in that 25 here and solve for t. So when we subtract 25 from both sides, we end up with t equals 15.
Alright, so we also have to say what that stands for. Our let statement says that t equals the number of 2-cent coins. That means that we have 15 2-cent coins. It's always a good idea to check your answers as well. So how would we do that, Miss Andrews?
Well, if we plug these two values in back into both equations, we should still have true statements for both equations. That would be the best way to check.
Good.
Okay.